From soil to soul, welcome to ChezFarms, where we turn soil into food and food into legacy. One thing I've learned about building a home in Thailand is that sometimes the house makes perfect sense while the process doesn't. The roof is complete, the walls are going up, the rooms are beginning to take shape, and honestly, the house is looking fantastic. But every now and then, something happens that leaves me scratching my head. Recently, I met another American. Like many people considering a move to Thailand, he was exploring the possibility of building a home. At some point during our conversation, he asked me a simple question. Would you recommend your builder? And to my surprise, I wasn't entirely sure how to answer. Not because the builder is bad, not because the project is failing, actually quite the opposite. The house is moving along nicely. The roof looks great. The walls are progressing. And from everything I can see, the project appears to be on schedule. The builder still has until November to complete the contract. Today is only June. So from a timeline perspective, there really isn't much for me to complain about. But if I'm being honest, communication has been an adventure. Now, to be fair, I don't think this is unique to our builder. From conversations with Thai friends, members of our homeschool community, and other people who have built homes here, it seems that communication challenges are simply part of the process. Even when everyone is acting in good faith, even when everyone wants the same outcome, even when my wife, who speaks Thai fluently, is involved in every conversation, misunderstandings still happen. One example was the generator. At one point, we were told that renting a generator would cost approximately 2,000 baht per day for 10 days, about 20,000 baht. So we looked at the numbers and thought, for just a little more money, why not buy our own generator? We purchased one for around 23,000 baht. Our thinking was simple. If power was holding up the project, then maybe this would help keep things moving. And then, the generator mostly sat there. Now, maybe there were reasons we didn't fully understand. Maybe circumstances changed. Maybe plans shifted. Maybe there were factors behind the scenes that we never saw. I honestly don't know. What I do know is that the generator spent a lot of time doing absolutely nothing. And every time I walked by it, I found myself wondering, what exactly was the plan here? But here's the interesting part. The longer I build this house, the more I realize that construction isn't just about concrete, steel, roofs, and walls. It's about patience. It's about learning to live with uncertainty. It's about accepting that sometimes progress is happening even when you don't completely understand the process. Because while I may not understand every decision, I can see the results. The roof is standing, the walls are standing, the rooms are taking shape, and every week the vision becomes a little more real. In fact, something unexpected happened recently. For months, I had a quiet concern in the back of my mind. I wondered if we had designed the house too small. When you're looking at drawings, measurements, and floor plans, everything feels smaller. A few lines on paper don't tell the whole story, at least not to me. There were moments when I thought, did we make a mistake? Should we have made this room larger? Should we have increased the size of the living area? But then the walls started going up, and suddenly everything changed. The house felt bigger, much bigger. The kitchen opened up. The living room opened up. The homeschool area opened up. The entire floor plan began flowing together exactly the way we had hoped. And for the first time, I could actually see it. Not as a drawing, not as a plan, not as a future project, but as a home. A real home. The home where our family will live. The home where my daughters will grow up. The home where we'll gather around meals, celebrate birthdays, teach lessons, create memories. And that's when something else occurred to me. Our home in Palmdale was about 1,950 square feet. A wonderful home, a lot of memories, a lot of life. But ChezFarms is giving us something different. The open floor plan creates a sense of space that doesn't fully reveal itself until the walls are standing around you. The kitchen flows into the living area. The living area flows into the home school space. And the entire design feels connected, not separated, connected. It's funny. A few months ago, I was worried we didn't build enough house. Today, I'm walking through it, wondering where all this space came from. And maybe that's the lesson. Maybe building a home is a little like life. Sometimes the process doesn't make sense. Sometimes people misunderstand each other. Sometimes plans change. Sometimes you buy a generator that spends most of its time sitting quietly in the corner. But despite all of that, progress still happens. The roof goes on, the walls go up, the vision slowly becomes reality. And one day, you walk through the structure and realize it's becoming home. So if that American gentleman ever watches this episode and asks me again whether I would recommend my builder, my answer would probably be this: ask me when the house is finished, because I think that's the fair answer, the honest answer. And until then, I'll keep watching, keep learning, keep practicing patience, and keep enjoying the journey. Because right now, the house makes perfect sense, even when the process doesn't. Sometimes the house makes sense long before the process does. Adios, amigos. Remember, every tree we plant is a step toward freedom. We'll see you in the next row.